I'm so glad you're here because it means that you've chosen to take a crucial step toward the success you've always dreamed of. During this first video, I'm going to discuss the rules for peak performance, the science, and the system behind success. When we're through today, you'll understand that success is a science and you can create your own. As human beings, we have a success instinct, but most people don't realize that they can actually predict their own level of success. So why are some people more successful than others? If you're watching this video, chances are you want to improve your quality of life. You're tired of looking at your friends or acquaintances and even strangers and wondering what they've done differently or better than you have to experience a better quality of life. There's nothing will make you madder than to meet somebody who's dumber than you, who's making more money than you. They have more money, nicer lives, better health, better jobs, better businesses, better homes, and better families, and you know that they're no better, smarter, or more talented than you are. Why is this? Let me start by telling you what doesn't set them apart. It's not their IQ, their childhood, or their ability to network. So what does set the ultra-successful person apart from the mediocre? While it may have seemed like mystery and chance in the past, there's actually a science to success. And when you apply the scientific principles to your own life, you can learn to operate at peak performance and set yourself up for predictable, automatic success in every area of your life. Your personal life, your family, your income, your business. Here's the best way to define success. The most important thing you can do is to decide exactly what success means to you. What would your life look like if you made it into a masterpiece? All great achievement begins with your decision of what it is you really want and then dedicating yourself wholeheartedly to attaining it. There are 7 desires or goals that we all have in common. The first and easily the most important is peace of mind. You'll find that you can evaluate how well you're doing at any given time in your life by how much inner peace you enjoy. If for any reason you compromise your values or go against that little voice inside, your peace of mind is the first thing to suffer. The second common desire we all have is that we all want to be healthy and have high levels of energy. Just as peace of mind is your natural mental state, your health and energy is your natural and normal physical state. In health, you find your true energy and radiance. If you achieve all kinds of things in the material world but have the absence of health, you'll never get any pleasure from your other accomplishments. Now, the third ingredient of success is happy relationships with people you love and people who love and care about you. In fact, your ability to enter into and maintain long-term relationships is the essence of your personality. It demonstrates the way that you get along with others and the way that they get along with you. Now, the fourth ingredient of success is financial freedom. Financial freedom means that you're making enough money so that you don't have to think about it continually, or, best of all, that you never think about it at all. Most people worry about money all the time, and that's a lousy way to live. Nearly 80% of the population is preoccupied with money problems. They think about it when they wake up, and they think about it during the day, and they think about it when they go to sleep at night, and sometimes it keeps them awake at night. The only way for you to achieve financial freedom is for you to define your financial goals clearly and then make plans to achieve those goals. The fifth ingredient of success is having worthy goals and ideals. You need to feel that your life stands for something, that you're making a valuable contribution to the world. Self-awareness is the sixth ingredient of success. Now, self-awareness is a critical part of mental health. This is how you discover why you react and respond the way you do to people and situations around you. Successful people understand themselves and why they think and feel the way they do, and that's one of the things that you learn. When you can understand and accept yourself, you can begin moving forward in other areas of your life. The seventh ingredient of success is personal fulfillment, what Abraham Maslow called self-actualization. This is the feeling that you are becoming everything that you're capable of becoming, that you're realizing your full potential for happy living. When you have the courage to decide exactly what you want, you begin the process of unlocking your hidden powers to succeed.
So I thought about boring people, people who were boring in some ways, but who did incredible things in others. And I looked for traits and behaviors that they had in common. The first thing I found was that boring people who did amazing things wrote things down. Now, why do we have to write things down? Well, first, let's think about how many things we can actually remember. This was George Miller. He wrote a research paper. He argued that our short-term memory, our working memory, was limited to about 5 to 9 items. Now, think about your schedules. There are dozens of events, meetings, appointments, classes. On average, people had about 50 simultaneous things going on. They're all wearing on your brain. They're all using that same 5 to 9 items. We are terrible at remembering what we have to do, so the only logical thing then is to give that off to an external tool that can do it better than us. There are agendas, to-do lists, calendars, notebooks, simple, boring things. And when we offboard that information to them, what we can do is we can focus all of our attention onto just 1 or 2 projects at a time. Second thing is they reduce to the essentials. Barry Schwartz talks about this idea of the paradox of choice, and he looks at all the different things we can buy, and all the different restaurants we can go to, all the different jeans we could purchase. We know that we now have too many choices, that those choices start to hurt us, because we're afraid of making the wrong choice. This is what Apple co-founder Steve Jobs wore almost every single day for more than a decade. President Obama says that he only has 2 colors of suit. He's got a blue suit and he's got a gray suit. But what these guys knew about was this idea of a mental energy pool. That we only have a limited amount of mental energy that we can devote to decision making. We are so exhausted by choosing what to wear, what to eat, what to buy, that we can't make good decisions on the important things. So how do we manage this? If it's something you don't love and it's something you don't have to do, just eliminate it. The tougher one for most people, if it's something you don't love, but it's something you have to do, what are you going to do about that? We need to automate them. We need to make the same choice every single time, or we need to let someone else make the choice for us. I eat chicken and potatoes pretty much every night for dinner. Because I'm not worn down by all the decision making on the mundane things I don't care about, I'm able to give my entire self to making the things I love amazing. And the third thing, stop and question. Because the problem with the first 2 things is that people do them extremely well and their life goes on autopilot. But we have to continue to question those things. We have to make sure that they're not stale. We have to make sure that they still have value to us.
And it was then I realized that there were 3 different components to success. And that there was a unique combination as I was communicating with people that I needed to do a better job of. But it was ultimately, the first one is mindset. It's what you think and what you believe. You have to have the mindset. The 6-inch market is the first market to control, the 6 inches between your ears. Are you guys with me, yes or no? And, you know, if you think you can, you think you can't, you're right. You know all those things, all the positive motivational stuff, whatever else. It's a big deal. But motivation alone is not enough. As Jim Rohn says, if you motivate an idiot, all you have is a motivated idiot. So you have to have, on one hand, you got to have the mindset. The second thing is you got to have the motivation. You got to have the juice. And we'll talk about that. One of my mentors, Zig Ziglar, said, you know, because he would take a lot of criticism for motivation because motivation is not long-lasting. And it's not. Motivation is a thing you have to put on every day. Well, I tried that. It didn't work. You know, Zig says motivation's like bathing. Okay? That's why you do it daily. You got to do it over and over and over and over again. Okay? And then, so you have the mindset, you have the motivation, and then you got to have the methodologies, the how-tos. And you need a combination of all 3. Let me say this. If the event was to stop right now, and you took these 3 things to heart, and you challenged your mindset to grow this here, you worked on your motivation every day, and you applied methodologies every day, you already are on the path to win.
Wrap your goals around something that you have to do every day. Give you an example. I always tell people it's 3 things I love, in no particular order: training, martial arts, and my 12-year-old. 3 things I love. There's nothing in the world I'd rather be doing right now than right here with you guys. None. This is what I do. I live it. I breathe it. I was up at 4 in the morning. I couldn't wait. Check my Facebook wall. This is for y'all. I was up at 4 o'clock this morning. Couldn't wait. Like, I'm gonna kill them today. I said, they ain't ready today. I was like, I can't wait. When I train, they'll tell you, that's why I'm so small, because I can't eat. I can't, when I'm training, it's like when I do like 3-day seminars, I lose like, that's why I'm so small. Because I'm always on stage. I cannot wait. It's what I do. And I'm telling you, what I do is I develop a consistency within a routine. What that means is, true or false, you have to brush your teeth every day, I hope. Am I right? Okay. So before I brush my teeth, I might do my Kung Fu. That's what I study Wing Chun. I might do the Kung Fu before I brush my teeth. So now, brushing your teeth is synonymous with a quick workout. Does that make sense? You tie it to something that you have to what? Do. You have to do it. I have to eventually go to sleep. So before I go to sleep, let me do 3 sets of 25, 3 sets of sit-ups, 4 sets of 25 or 4 sets of 25 push-ups or whatever. So I get my little workout in before I go to sleep. Water. See, I've had a kidney stone before. That's why I'm not joking about this water. Because when I talk, I have to stay hydrated, and I was drinking everything but water. And one day that kidney stone said, okay. Guess what? Oh, yes. Guess what? I'm here. It's the calcification from years and years of not drinking water. And when I tell you it hurts, man. It's a grain of salt. That's all it is. It's as big as a grain of salt, but it's trying to pass through a tube that's smaller than that. Man, let me tell you, you had me on the floor, and I have a high tolerance of pain. Had me on the floor, cradled up like a little baby. It's unbelievable. In fact, Shannon, can I get some water real quick, please? Thank you. Flashbacks in this bad boy. Not the bottled water, please. Because I'm telling you right now, that kidney stone is no joke. So now I make sure that I develop a routine of making sure I drink plenty of water before something else that I have to what? Do. Tie your new habit into a current routine and watch what happens. That's a big one, I'm telling you. Because you're going to start, your new habit is going to be synonymous with something you have to do.
Success isn't about what we know in this moment. It's about how do we continue to learn and change with it. Today we're living very much in a learning economy, not just a knowledge economy, whether that's technological change, globalization. We can think about things like artificial intelligence and data. We've got to be able to adapt with it. What we really want to do is understand what are those steps to take for learning to make sure that we can continue to succeed so we can reinvent ourselves in the workplace. There's really 4 things that I would suggest we need to focus on. The first is how we deal with failure, really learning from failure. Failure isn't a mistake in the process, it's a part of the process. That doing something new, we can't get it right all the time. And failure is vital. When things go wrong, it shows us that, hey, we have a gap that we need to fill. Failure is motivating. We then work to fill that gap. The struggle is, it's embarrassing. It's kind of sometimes shameful. We don't want to admit that it went wrong. We want to be right all the time. Sometimes I don't want to try it because what happens if it goes wrong? Well, what happens if you don't do anything? So the second element is taking time to reflect. Don't avoid thinking by being busy. If we want to learn, we have to be willing to fight that urge to act. We did some research where we taught people a new task and we gave them a choice. Do you want to do the task again or spend some time reflecting? 80% of people chose to do, only 20% reflected, but that group that reflected ended up learning and performing at a much higher level. If we want to learn successfully, we've got to fight that urge to always be on and actually step back. The third piece as we think about learning is really around playing to strengths. We can't be good at everything. So instead, if we really want to learn successfully, we need to look at those strengths. What are we good at? Where do we differentiate ourselves? Where do we enjoy what we're doing? And if we can put all of that together, then we're likely to be able to work harder, work smarter in the process. Fourth element is really around learning from others. There's a great quote from Galileo basically saying, I've never met a man so ignorant I couldn't learn from him. Others play a huge role in our ability to be successful. Part of that is just we can learn from them. They have knowledge that we maybe don't have ourselves. Others are really motivating, that we're likely to do more when we're surrounded by people. Google did now a few years ago a project they called Project Aristotle. They're interested in team performance. What they saw again and again, that teams that worked well together were far more likely to be successful even if it was a quote-unquote B team of players. In the same way, when we think about learning, we need to look at the others. Familiarity doesn't breed contempt, it actually breeds success.
Now, there are three essential results or benefits of success. The first benefit of success is that you'll start to see your self-esteem rise. You'll like yourself more. You'll feel more valuable and important. The second benefit is that you'll achieve a level of self-respect that you may never have had before. You'll really see yourself as an outstanding person. And finally, the third measure of success is you'll take tremendous personal pride in who you are and what you're capable of doing.